So it's been brought to my attention on numerous occasions of this same topic. People have come to me, asked me questions about this topic, and I've seen things. So, a season or a lifetime. As we all know, certain things in our lives are only to serve a purpose for a season. It's not meant for us to stay, right? This is something that we're all quite aware of. We know this. But if we know this, why do we get into situations where seasonal circumstances become permanent? And I think that's something I'm going to start diving into, because it's been made clear, the statement that I stated. We all know this, but the question that we don't really dig into is the why. The why. Because sometimes we fall for the potential of our circumstances. Sometimes we become comfortable in a toxic situation. We become comfortable in things that weren't even meant for us to be in the first place. Now, some situations weren't even meant to be seasonal. But as we all know, there's a blessing in the lessons that we learn from the people that we get ourselves involved with, whether it's a job, relationship, whatever decisions that we're making in our lives. Every decision we make in our lives isn't always right, but the potential of something working, the potential of fixing something to your desired comfort is where we fall short. We try, even when we get in situations and things begin to stir up, which is intentional. When things stir up, it's stirred up not for us to stand still in it, but to get out. Now, again, as I mentioned, discernment. We have to understand and have discernment and know which situations we're supposed to stand still in and which ones we're supposed to move from. That's the whole big idea of everything I will ever discuss, is that we have to have discernment. That's something we're going to have to get to understand this, because it can sound very, okay, well, that means if something's not going right at first, let me just leave. No, that's not always the case. But when it comes to the potential of things that we sometimes we try to fix things. We try to force things. We fixate our minds on certain situations that we know aren't right, with the hopes of it being better because of investment. We've invested time into things. And because we invested so much time in our minds, it's like, well, we invested this much time, it must be for me. That's not always the case. That's not always the case. Understand this. Anything in your life that is causing you to be stagnant. Now, there's a difference between being stagnant and grounded, which is something we have to learn. When you're grounded, being grounded, planted like a tree, in God's grace, that's one thing. Everything around us isn't going to seem right, but there is something that we're holding on to. There's something that's telling us in this moment and for this season, you must stand still. Yes, your back is going to be up against the wall, but there's something more than that wall that is holding you up. That's being grounded. Now, becoming stagnant is there is no place of growth, because when we're grounded, there are going to be things that push us and break us. But understand that breaking is only rebuilding. Stagnant, there is no breaking, there is no growth. You're just stuck and you become intoxicated. You just start to go downhill. There is no bringing back up. It's like you hit rock bottom and you got comfortable with that rock, and it's not a solid foundation. Potential, we fall in love with it quite often. And we invest in things, and we invest in something. We think that because we've spent so much time, understand this, you made a mistake. Okay, we've all made mistakes, and it's okay. Don't look at your investment as a loss. Look at it as a place of growth, and understand that, hey, I don't have to stay. And sometimes we force ourselves into situations because of people. Don't worry about nobody else. Worry about you and do what's best for you. Do what's best for you in this season, and understand your season in your life, which is another thing I'm going to dive deep into. Welcome to day 6. If you haven't noticed, lately I've been doing the last few days I've been doing my videos in advance for time reasons, and just to have things ready. And when something comes on me, I speak. And so day 6, let's get into it. Let's get ready. I'm going to keep telling you to get ready. It's not going to feel good at first. They never said the journey will be easy. They never said the road to success will be easy. You got to fail a few times before you get to the top. So are you ready to fall? That's my question to you today. Are you ready to fall? Because understand, this fall is going to be like never before. This fall is coming with something.